Good afternoon, room 23 students. Today we're going to talk about changing fractions into decimals. I'm sure you're very familiar with it, so let's take a look at it. Here we go. I'd like you to take a look at this math message. There are two number lines here. What I want you to do is to mark and label the location of 3 decimals on each of the number lines below. On number 1, you're going to mark 3 spots between 0.7 and 0.8. And on line number 2, you're going to mark 3 decimal points between 9.32 and 9.33. You're going to do this on a separate piece of paper, of course, one that you're going to turn in tomorrow, of course, so go get that piece of paper now. And when you come back, draw these 2 lines. If you choose to draw lines 1, 2, and 3, those numbers will all begin with 0.7 and then something else. Those lines that are between 0.7 and 0.8 are going to be hundredths. In the lines below, we have 9.32 at one end and 9.33 at the other, and the tick marks in between are going to be numbers in the thousandths. That means that you are going to have to take your numbers out to 3 places beyond the decimal. Finally, I'd like you to draw your own line, one that might look something like this. And at the ends, I want you to decide what numbers to write. However, the 3 decimal points you're going to write in need to be in the 10,000ths place. What I want you to comment on tonight in the comments that have shown you've watched this video is what place do the numbers on the ends of this line you've drawn yourself need to be? Do those numbers need to be out to the tenths, the hundredths, the thousandths, the 10,000ths, the millionths place? How far are these numbers going out at these endpoints of this line? That's your comment tonight. The other part of your homework that you're going to write down, you're going to have to listen carefully and maybe pause a little bit. You're going to write down some numbers that I say out loud as both a fraction and a decimal. So make sure you have room on your paper. And here we go. Number 1, you're going to write 7/10 as both a fraction and a decimal. Number 2 is going to be 6/100 as both a fraction and a decimal. Number 3, 3.9 as both a fraction and a decimal. Number 4, 3 9/10, both as a fraction and a decimal. 45/100 as both a fraction and a decimal. Number 6 is going to be 6 9/100, both as a fraction and a decimal. There are 3 more, so get ready. Number 7 is 708,000ths. This one's a little more difficult, so I'm going to say it one more time. 708,000ths, both as a fraction and as a decimal. 9 19,000ths as both a fraction and a decimal. And lastly, number 9, 6 19,000ths as both a fraction and a decimal. I look forward to seeing what you did with your homework. I'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye-bye.